This is Hunter McDermott with AnyoneCanPlayGuitar.org with another Bowerbirds tune. This time we're going to do Crooked Lust. So there are two main parts to the tune. There's the verse and then there's the chorus. And throughout there's a very distinctive rhythm that goes with the picking pattern. So we'll look at that at the very beginning. So, first chord, we have the 10th fret of the 4th string, 9th fret 3rd string, and 10th fret of the 2nd string. So we're holding, it's almost like playing a D7 chord shape, just way up here. And then we'll have our first string open. Alright, so here's what it sounds like. Alright, so that right hand, starting with the 4th string there, the lowest note we're fretting. And then we're just using our 3-finger technique as usual. Alright, so we're going 4th string, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then we're hitting our 1st string, and then index comes down and hits. So what I'm doing there is I'm moving my 2nd finger, my middle finger, down to that 1st string to grab that note, and then my index finger hits the 3rd string. So in this particular case, at the beginning, we're actually hitting the same note twice. But later on, of course, it won't be that way. So I'd sit and just practice that rhythm for a few minutes just to get it down, because the whole rest of the tune follows that same pattern. Alright, so that's our first chord. Then we go down to what looks like an A minor shape, just up here at the 8th fret. So 8th fret, 2nd string, and then 9th fret of the 3rd and 4th strings. And then our 1st string is still open. So it goes through those two chords twice at the very beginning. That's sort of like the intro. So I guess there are 3 parts technically. Alright, then when we get to the verse, it starts with those same 2 chords. Then our 3rd chord, we go to what looks sort of like an F major 7 shape. Just up here again at the 8th fret. So we have 8th fret 2nd string, 9th fret 3rd, and 10th fret 4th. And then also our pinky is coming out and grabbing the 10th fret of the 1st string. Alright, and then our 4th chord, you can kind of keep your fingers in this general shape. The next shape is sort of similar, especially the 3rd and 4th fingers. So the next shape is down here. Got sort of a minor chord shape. So that's 3rd finger, 7th fret, 4th string. Then I'm barring the 2nd and 3rd strings with my 1st finger on the 5th fret. And then the pinky is reaching out and grabbing that 7th fret of the 1st string. Alright, so let's play that little 4-chord sequence. Alright, then you're already sort of in the area you need to be in. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to change my bar down to the 4th fret. And then if you want, you could do another, you don't really even need to bar here technically, but it's just easy to sort of slide that bar down. The only note that we really need to hit is the 3rd string, 4th fret. The 4th string is now open, and then 4th fret, 3rd string. And then you can either reach out and grab with pinky and 3rd, which I like to do, or you can bar, but we need the 7th fret of both the 1st and 2nd strings. So that'll be from the 4th string, it's 0, 4, 7, 7. Then we follow it up with a C chord. So in general, whenever you have these chords that are larger than 4 strings, that span more than 4 strings, generally it's the bass note is added, so my thumb is now taking care of that 5th string, but my other fingers stay in that same formation, so I'm hitting my 5th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 3rd. Same, everything stays the same except that where we were hitting the 4th string earlier, now we're bumping it down to the 5th. So that little sequence up to that point is so it's important to note when we get to that chord where we're having 0, 4, 7, 7, we are only playing that little chord one time, whereas just about everywhere else we're playing the chord for 2 measures. This is just 1 measure. And then you go right to the C, which you play for 3. So ultimately it ends up an even amount of measures. Before you do the cool lick where you're already here on this C, so what I do is I take my 3rd finger and I slide it up to the 7th fret. And what we have now is 3rd finger, 7th fret, 5th string, 1st finger, 5th fret, 4th string, and then pinky on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. And then this finger's not doing anything, and then we have our open 4th string, or open 2nd string, the open B there. And then you have this nice sort of D7 kind of shape. Again, just come down to the 5th fret, so then we have 5th fret, 4th fret, and then 5th fret, and then have our open B again. So 5, 4, 5, 0. So after we go to the C for 3 measures, 1 measure of that chord, and then 3 of the D. So the entire verse goes like this. The whole verse. Pretty cool. Alright, then the chorus is relatively simple. It's mostly repetitious. So we come down here and we have a G chord. You can use this finger or not. We don't play that string. So it's the same thing we had, similar situations we had on our C, where the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings are being used, and then where we were using our 4th string or the 5th string as sort of like the bass note, we are now using the 6th string to grab this low G down here. And then I have my 3rd finger on this high G. Alright, so 1 measure of G, then A minor. So same kind of thing, top 3, high 3 strings, and then now our bass note has moved over to the 5th string. 3 measures there, and then back to G. A minor, then C. Alright, then here's the last little cool lick. We have just 3 open strings. That's 6th string, 1st, and then 2nd. And then this sort of like a D, it is a D, where we have our 5th fret, 5th string on the D there. Then pinky here on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and then 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string. So the chorus goes G for 1 measure, then A minor for 3, and G again for 1, A minor, C, and then the lick. So that's the only time where that rhythm is abandoned. It just becomes like quarter note triplets. Then we go back to G to A minor 3 times. Then G to A minor, C. So it goes through that whole sequence 2 times. Then the last time, the third time, after the C, the G to A minor, it goes to the C for 4 measures. Then we have the lick. Then you go back to that part. So it goes that little intro, those first 2 chords. Then we have the verse, which I believe there are 3 verses in a row, and then the chorus. Then we have 1 more verse. Then we have the chorus, which goes through 2 times, and then that's the song. So it's a pretty neat tune. If that all was confusing with all the fingering and everything, check out indieguitartabs.com and you search for Bowerbirds, and you'll see all my tabs there, and you'll find one for Crooked Lust, so you can get the exact chord shapes and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy learning that tune and playing that, and keep listening to the Bowerbirds, and keep watching for new videos. Give me a like, subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff, and check out my site, anyonecanplayguitar.org, for some guitar related stuff. And thanks again for watching. Take care.